Good morning, 7th graders. This video is just an additional supplemental video going over subtracting integers and a couple ways that we can either visually represent how to subtract or how we can rewrite these problems as addition. So let's get started with one way that we can visually represent subtracting integers. So you'll notice my problem here is -7 minus -9. And if you recall from just subtraction that we learned in elementary school, we know that subtraction is takeaway. So if I'm starting with 7 negatives, which are my red counters right here along the side, my problem is saying that I'm going to take away 9 negatives. But you'll see that I don't have 9 negatives. I have 7 negatives. So in order to do that, I need to add in 0 pairs so that I have 9 negatives to take away. So what I'm going to add in is a 0 pair here. So right there, I've added in 1 yellow and 1 red. The yellow represents positive and the red represents negative. And so a -1 and a +1 that I've got with this 0 pair is equal to 0, hence why we call it a 0 pair. So now if we count, I have these 7 negatives along the left side plus this 1 more negative. I'm going to add in another 0 pair so that I have a total of 9 negatives. So now I can see here that I have my 7 negatives and my 9 negatives. So I can take away these 9 negatives from the 7 negatives that I started with. I'm taking them away. Taking away 9 negatives here. And what I'm left with are these 2 positives right here. So the sum, excuse me, not the sum, the difference, I'm subtracting -7 minus -9. The difference here is 2, +2. Now on this next page, I've got some examples here where we can rewrite with addition. So let's rewrite these problems using addition. The first step I'm going to do is look at the 2 integers. I'm always going to leave the first integer the same. It always stays the same, whether it's a positive or a negative. So +6. My subtraction becomes addition. And notice that addition is the opposite of subtraction. So therefore, I'm going to change the second digit here. The second integer becomes its opposite. So the opposite of a -7 is +7. So the equivalent problem here to 6 minus -7 is actually just 6 plus 7. And I know that the sum of that is 13. Number 2, -9 minus 2. Just like in number 1, the first number never changes. Subtraction becomes addition. And now I'm going to look at the opposite of this integer. And this is a 2. So the opposite of a +2 is a -2. And here I've got -9 plus -2. Well, here I am adding 2 integers with the same sign. I know that the sum is negative, and I add like normal. 9 plus 2 is 11, therefore my answer is -11. And the last and final problem is -12 minus -5. I'm going to rewrite, keeping the first number the same. Subtraction becomes addition. The opposite of this -5 is a +5. And now I'm adding a negative 12 plus a positive 5. So in this case, I see that the negative 12 has the greater absolute value. So my answer will be a negative. And then I'm just going to subtract the absolute values. Subtract the absolute values. 12 minus 5 is 7. And I already pointed out that the 12 had the greater absolute value, so that makes my answer a negative 7. I hope this video helps you to understand subtracting integers a little bit more. As always, if you have any questions, just reach out.